Surprised my wife's 2-year affair with divorce papers at her secret hotel hideaway. Her reaction was wild. I'm 41, a guy who spent most of his adult life building something I thought was unbreakable. My wife, Lisa, and I have been married for 15 years. We've got 2 incredible kids. Our daughter, 13, who's got this quiet strength that floors me, and our son, 8, whose laugh is pure sunshine. I work in construction, long hours, sore muscles, but it pays the bills and then some. Lisa's a rising star at a marketing firm, climbing the ranks over the past few years. We've always been a busy couple, juggling work and family, but we made it a priority to stay connected. Family dinners, weekend hikes, movie nights with popcorn fights. We were a team. At least, that's what I told myself. Our marriage wasn't always smooth sailing. The early years were a mess. We met in our mid-20s, fell hard, and tied the knot fast. Too fast, maybe. We were young, hot-headed, and clueless about compromise. Fights were loud, doors slammed, but we always found our way back to each other. I'd bring her coffee in bed after a blowout. She'd leave me little notes apologizing, and we'd laugh about how stubborn we were. Over time, I thought we'd ironed out the kinks. We had the kids, built a cozy house in the suburbs, and settled into a rhythm. I'd always believed our love was the kind that could take on anything. Lisa was my rock, my partner in crime. I'd have moved mountains for her, and I tried to, every day. About 2 years ago, though, something shifted. It started small, easy to miss if you weren't looking. Lisa would come home late, hair messy, eyes glued to her phone. "Work's crazy," she'd say, and I'd nod, trusting her. Construction's unpredictable too, weather delays, last-minute fixes, so I got it. But then the distance grew. She stopped laughing at my dumb jokes. She'd snap at me over nothing, burnt toast, a forgotten errand, and I'd apologize, thinking I'd messed up. I started noticing how she'd compare me to her boss, Mark, all the time. "Mark knows how to handle pressure," she'd say. Or, "Mark took his team out for drinks. Why don't you ever think of that?" It stung, but I brushed it off. Mark was this polished guy, fancy suits, big smile, the kind of charisma that fills a room. I figured she admired his style, maybe envied his ease. I didn't see the warning signs. Then came the night that cracked everything open. We were in bed, the kids asleep down the hall. I was half dozing, scrolling through my phone, when I heard her giggle, soft, girlish, the way she used to laugh with me. She was texting someone, her face lit up by the screen. I smiled, leaned over, and said, "What's so funny?" Just wanting to share the moment. She yanked the phone away like I tried to grab it, her eyes flashing. "What are you doing?" she snapped, her voice sharp enough to cut glass. I froze, heart pounding. "I just wanted to see," I said, keeping it light, but she bolted upright, clutching the phone to her chest. "It's none of your business," she muttered, then stormed to the bathroom, slamming the door. I lay there, staring at the ceiling, a pit forming in my stomach. That wasn't my Lisa. The next morning, I tried to talk to her. I waited until the kids were off to school, then sat her down over coffee. "Hey, what's going on?" I asked, keeping my tone calm. "Last night, you seemed upset." She exploded. "You don't trust me, do you? After all these years?" Her voice was loud, defensive, and it threw me off. I hadn't accused her of anything. I just wanted to understand. "I do trust you," I said, "but you're acting different." "I'm worried." She scoffed, grabbed her bag, and left for work without another word. That night, I couldn't sleep. The pit in my gut grew into a gnawing ache. Something was wrong, and I couldn't shake it. A few days later, I asked for her phone. Not to snoop. I just needed peace of mind. "If there's nothing to hide, let me see," I said, hating how small my voice sounded. She clutched it tighter, eyes blazing. "You're ridiculous," she spat. "I don't owe you that." Hours later, she tossed it at me with this smug look, like she'd called my bluff. "Go ahead, look." I scrolled through, texts to her mom, her sister, a few coworkers. But something felt off. Conversations were choppy, like pieces were missing. "Why are there gaps?" I asked. She shrugged. "I delete stuff. It's not a big deal." I handed it back, and we didn't speak for days. The silence was deafening. I couldn't let it go. That ache turned into a fire. I needed the truth. A buddy of mine, Jake, works in tech and offered to help. "I can recover deleted texts," he said over beers one night. "If you're sure." I wasn't proud of it. Felt like I was crossing a line, but I said yes. What he found wasn't concrete proof, but it was enough to make my blood run cold. Flirty messages to Mark, late night, meet me, plans, stuff she'd never say to me. It's not everything, Jake said, but it's something. I stared at the printouts, my hands shaking. 2 years of this. My wife, my Lisa, slipping away, and I'd been too blind to see it. I didn't confront her. Not yet. She'd deny it, twist it, and I'd be left with nothing. So I waited, playing the part of the clueless husband while my world crumbled. Every smile she gave me felt like a lie. Every, I love you, stabbed deeper. I don't know what to do next, but I can't keep living like this. Am I crazy for suspecting her? Should I dig deeper? I'd love your take, because right now, I'm lost. Update 2. After finding those sketchy texts, I knew I couldn't just sit there. I had to know the full story, even if it broke me. I kept up the act at home, cooking dinner, helping the kids with homework, smiling at Lisa like nothing was wrong. Inside, I was a wreck. Every time she laughed at her phone or left the room to take a call, my chest tightened. I started tracking patterns, late nights, meetings that didn't add up. She'd come home smelling faintly of cologne, not her usual floral perfume, and I'd pretend not to notice. It was killing me. I confided in Jake again. I need more, I told him. Something solid. He hesitated, said I might not like what I find, but agreed to dig deeper. Meanwhile, I started snooping myself. I'd check her purse when she was in the shower, glance at her laptop when she left it open. Nothing obvious, but the gaps in her stories grew wider. Then, one Saturday, she dropped the bomb. I've got an emergency at work, she said, packing an overnight bag. Don't wait up. I nodded, kissed her goodbye, and watched her drive off. My gut screamed she was lying. I called her office. No answer. It was closed on weekends. Her cell went straight to voicemail. I sat there, staring at the wall, my kids playing upstairs, and something snapped. I couldn't do this alone anymore. On a whim, I texted Sarah, Mark's wife. We'd met at company events. She was warm, down to earth, the opposite of Mark's slick charm. Hey, this is weird, but can we talk? I wrote. She called me 5 minutes later. What's going on? She asked, her voice steady but curious. I spilled everything. The texts, the distance, my suspicions about Mark. There was a long pause. Then she said, I think he's cheating too. Sarah had her own clues. Receipts for dinners she hadn't attended, late nights he blamed on client meetings, a weird vibe she couldn't shake. I found a hotel charge last month, she admitted. He said it was a mix-up, but her voice cracked, and I felt a strange relief. I wasn't alone. We agreed to team up. She'd check Mark's phone. I'd keep digging on my end. 2 days later, she called me, breathless. You need to see this. She'd cracked his passcode. Arrogant guy didn't even hide it. The texts between him and Lisa were a gut punch. Plans to meet at hotels, our house, their house. Lovey-dovey messages, inside jokes, photos I refused to look at. It's been going on for 2 years, Sarah said, her voice trembling. They're not even careful. I sank onto my couch, the kids' laughter echoing from upstairs. My wife, my partner, had been living a double life, and I'd been the idiot holding it all together. I wanted to storm into her office, throw it in her face, but Sarah stopped me. They'll lie, she said. We need a plan. She was right. We met at her place the next day. Her kids were with her parents, and laid it all out. Divorce papers, evidence, timing. They don't deserve us, she said, her eyes fierce. I nodded, numb. We hired lawyers, gathered every scrap of proof, and waited. It took weeks, but we found out they'd booked a romantic weekend at a hotel an hour away. That was our shot. The day came. I dropped the kids at my sister's, drove to the hotel, and sat in the lobby with a sheriff I'd coordinated with. My hands shook as I clutched the papers. Sarah texted me updates. Mark was still with Lisa upstairs. The sheriff went up, then called Lisa down. She stepped into the lobby in a bathrobe, hair damp, confusion turning to panic when she saw me. What are you doing here? She stammered. The sheriff stepped in, confirmed her identity, and handed her the divorce papers. Her jaw dropped, eyes wide with shock. I stood there, silent, as she processed it. Then she lunged at me, grabbing my arm. Wait, please, let me explain, she cried, tears streaming. I pulled away, my voice cold. You had an affair. I'm done. She yanked harder, sobbing. You've got it wrong. It's not what you think. The sheriff intervened, telling her to let go. She did, collapsing into a chair, wailing. I walked out, heart pounding, a mix of triumph and grief washing over me. Sarah served Mark that night. He rushed home from the hotel, only to find her waiting with papers of her own. We'd hit them hard, and it felt good. For a moment. Now what? Lisa's been blowing up my phone. Apologies, excuses, promises to change. The kids don't know the details, just that we're taking a break. But they're confused. I'm still in love with her, despite everything, and that's tearing me apart. Sarah's been a lifeline, but I'm a mess. Did I move too fast? Should I hear Lisa out? I'm drowning here. Any advice? Update 3. The days after the hotel were brutal. Lisa came home that night, eyes red, begging me to talk. It was a mistake, she said, voice hoarse. I never meant to hurt you. I stood there, arms crossed, as she rambled about how it was just physical with Mark, how she never planned to leave me. People get past worse, she pleaded. We can too. I didn't yell. I was too numb. You lied for 2 years, I said. How do I trust you now? She had no answer, just tears. I told her to sleep in the guest room. She did, but I heard her crying through the walls all night. The kids picked up on it fast. Our daughter asked why Mom was acting weird, and our son kept clinging to me, sensing the tension. I sat them down, kept it simple. Mom and I are having some grown-up problems, but we love you both so much. They nodded, but I could see the worry in their eyes. Lisa tried to play normal, making breakfast, asking about their day, but it was forced, and they felt it. I hated that they were caught in this. Lisa didn't let up. She started therapy, showed me books on infidelity she'd bought, swore she'd cut Mark off. I'll do anything, she said, leaving notes around the house, apologies, promises, memories of better times. It messed with my head. I still loved her. 15 years don't vanish overnight, and part of me wanted to believe her. But every time I looked at her, I saw those texts, imagined her with him. I couldn't unsee it. Sarah and I kept talking. She was my anchor, calm, steady, understanding. Her divorce was moving faster. Mark was fighting it, but she had him dead to rights. He's a coward, she told me over coffee one day, begging me back 1 minute, denying it the next. We laughed, a bitter kind of relief, and I realized how much I needed her perspective. She wasn't just a co-conspirator anymore. She was a friend. Maybe more, but I pushed that thought down. Too soon, too messy. Then came the twist. Lisa caught me texting Sarah one night. Nothing flirty, just logistics about our ex's latest moves. She lost it. Are you with her now? She screamed, tears streaming. Is that why you won't give me a chance? I stared, dumbfounded. You cheated for 2 years, and you're mad at me for talking to someone? She backed off, sobbing, but it planted a seed of doubt. Was I leaning on Sarah too much? Was Lisa right to be paranoid? I brushed it off. She'd lost the right to judge me, but it lingered. A week later, she upped the ante. She suggested couples therapy, said she'd found a great counselor to help us rebuild. Even if we divorce, it could help us co-parent, she said, all reasonable. I agreed, mostly for the kids. First session was a disaster. She cried, apologized, laid out her regrets. I sat there, arms crossed, barely speaking. The therapist pushed me to open up, but all I could say was, she broke us. I don't know how to fix that. Lisa offered intimacy, said it wasn't manipulation, just her wanting to show me she still loved me. I shut it down. You don't get to use that now, I told her. She nodded, defeated, but kept trying. Lingerie, soft touches, notes about how much she missed us. It was tempting, I won't lie, but it felt hollow. Meanwhile, Sarah dropped a bomb. Over dinner, platonic, I thought. She confessed she was falling for me. I didn't plan this, she said, eyes locked on mine. But you're amazing. My heart raced. She was beautiful, strong, everything Lisa hadn't been lately. We'd been through the same betrayal, and that bond was real. But I wasn't ready. I can't, I said, voice cracking. Not yet. She nodded, understanding, but the air shifted. We left it there, but I couldn't stop thinking about her. Lisa noticed. You're different, she said one night, watching me. It's her, isn't it? I snapped. You don't get to play jealous now. She backed off, but the tension skyrocketed. The divorce was moving forward. Papers filed, assets split, but she kept fighting it, clinging to this idea we could recover. My resolve was slipping. The kids wanted us together. My family said I was too hard on her, and I still loved her, deep down. But then I'd remember the lies, the years she gave to Mark, and I'd harden again. I'm torn. Sarah's a light in this darkness, but is it fair to drag her into my mess? Lisa's trying, really trying, but can I ever trust her? I feel like I'm losing either way. What would you do? Update 4. The last few months were a blur. Lisa fought the divorce tooth and nail, therapy, tears, grand gestures. She quit her job at the marketing firm, cut Mark off completely, and threw herself into fixing us. She'd cook my favorite meals, leave voicemails begging for a chance, even suggested a trial separation where I could explore while she waited. Crazy, right? I'd risk it for you, she said, eyes desperate. I rejected it all. You had your chance, I told her. 2 years of chances. She'd nod, cry, and try again the next day. It was exhausting. The kids were my anchor. I kept things light with them, game nights, park trips, but they knew. Our daughter asked, "Are you mad at Mom forever?" I hugged her tight. I'm mad at what she did, not who she is. We'll be okay. Our son just wanted cuddles, and I gave them freely. Lisa and I agreed to split custody 50-50, and she was generous with the settlement, more than fair, considering. You're a great dad, she said, signing the papers. You deserve it. I nodded, but it felt like a hollow victory. Sarah stayed in the picture. We scaled back after her confession, kept it friendly, but the pull was there. The day the divorce finalized, I took her to dinner, just to talk. We laughed, vented, and then it happened. Things got flirty, then passionate. I won't overshare, but it was electric, unlike anything I'd had with Lisa in years. She wanted more, a real shot, but I hesitated. I need time, I said. She smiled, patient, and we left it open. It boosted my confidence, though, made me feel alive again. Lisa didn't take it well. She found out. Our daughter mentioned Dad's friend Sarah, and flipped. You're moving on already? She yelled over the phone. I'm trying to fix us, and you're with her? I stayed calm. We're done, Lisa. You don't get a say. She hung up, and the next day, she showed up at my place with a box of old photos. Our wedding, the kids' births, sobbing. Don't throw this away, she said. I took the box, shut the door, and cried alone later. I hated hurting her, but I couldn't go back. Then came the next twist. Lisa started dating someone. A co-worker, single, no drama. Our daughter told me, Mom's happier now. It stung. Why couldn't she change for me? But I let it go. She'd moved out, into an apartment, and we were co-parenting smoothly. The kids adjusted. Our son loved showing off his 2 houses, and our daughter started opening up more. I miss how it was, she admitted once, but I get it. I hugged her, promising we'd build something new. Sarah and I kept seeing each other, casually. She's incredible, funny, fierce, a rock when I'm low. The kids met her, loved her instantly. Our daughter said, "She's cool, Dad. Be happy." It felt like permission, but I'm still cautious. Marriage? Off the table. I'm too jaded. Lisa's new guy? Fine by me, as long as she's stable for the kids. Mark's a ghost. Heard he's struggling, but I don't care. I'm proud I held my ground. But the cost haunts me. Money, trust, years. Lisa's not evil, just flawed, and I want her to heal. Sarah's a possibility, but I'm taking it slow. Did I rush the divorce? Should I have tried harder? I'm freer now, but the scars run deep. Thoughts? Update 5. The divorce settled months ago, and life stabilized. Lisa's in her apartment, dating her new guy, and she's different. Calmer, healthier, still in therapy. She's worked hard to rebuild with the kids, especially our daughter, who's softened toward her. Mom's trying, she told me, and I nodded. Good. You deserve that. We co-parent well. Drop-offs are civil, even warm sometimes. She stopped pushing for reconciliation, but I catch her looking at me sometimes, like she's waiting for me to crack. I won't. Sarah and I, we're official. It snuck up on me. Dinners turned into weekends, then a real relationship. She's everything I didn't know I needed. Honest, strong, patient. The kids adore her. Her youngest calls me stepdad, and it chokes me up every time. Our daughter's on board, said, "You smile more with her, Dad." We're discreet, keeping it low-key for everyone's sake, but I'm falling hard. Marriage still scares me. I told her that up front, and she's fine with it. I just want you, she said, and I believe her. Then Lisa threw a curveball. At a school event, she pulled me aside. I'm sorry for everything, she said, eyes clear. I didn't see what I had until I lost it. It wasn't a plea, Just closure. I nodded. I forgive you. Be happy. She smiled, teary, and walked away. It hit me later. I'd let go of the hate. She's not my enemy, just a chapter that's closed. Mark's a mess. New girlfriend, kids hate her, money's tight. I don't gloat. I just don't care. My focus is here, Sarah, the kids, me. I've learned I deserve better than lies, and I won't settle again. The scars are there, but they're fading. Did I handle it right? Mostly, I think. Life's not perfect, but it's mine, and I'm living it. Thanks for everything, folks. I'm out. Time to keep moving forward.